Morning. Ooh, today's going to be a good one. Today's going to be a good class. Ethical sourcing and conscious shopping. It's freaking cold in here today. How is that possible? Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, Hi, user. How are you? I'm gonna share out the live. I want to get as many people as we can in here today. Of course, I haven't been on the app a lot the last 2 weeks. Ugh, it's been a little cray here, but that's all right. We'll get there. Life is good. Life is good. I hope everybody's having a good weekend, getting their gardening done. Not me. Thank you for my heart. Thank you. Great class. We're going to talk about shopping, ethical shopping, conscious shopping. How do you shop? What do you look for? What's the secret? How do you figure it all out? Right? I think if you can, share it out to friends and family. Hi, Bree! Because this is going to be a good class. And we're going to have so much fun. It's quickly becoming one of my favorite classes, the kitchen hacks. I was going to sit down. Then I was like, oh, maybe I'll do this outside because it's so nice out. And then I was like, uh-oh. I'm scraping the bottom. I'm scraping the bottom of my coffee pot. My coffee left. This is a big deal. Thank you, Brie. All right. Yeah, I think it's going to be, this is a really good class for people who really, who are truly trying to change the way they shop, they think about food, all of those things. This is going to make a big difference and be very helpful. All right. How's everybody? You guys all good? We're going to wait a few minutes to get everybody in here. And then we're going to talk about why does it matter? What do all the terms mean? What's all the bull crap about marketing and, how they fake us out? You're going to like it. I'm going to like it. Tap the screen for me. Tap and share. That's how it's going to get more views. I actually am thinking that I might even promote this class today just because I think it's really such a good class. But of course I have no idea how to do that. But we're going to have a good time today. I can feel it. As usual. Pre's here. Where's the promote button? Campaigns. Nope, we don't want that. Oh, well. I guess I can't promote it. But we'll get there. All right. More likes can attract viewers. Keep it up. Like. All right. How do we make confident grocery decisions? That's the question. Without feeling overwhelmed and without buying into marketing. Hey, Kimberly. How do we do that? Pre, don't forget. Thanks for my sea of love. Pre, don't forget tomorrow night is our cooking class. I hope we see you. It's right now. Kimberly and I are going to be there. I know Robin's in Florida. June's at a birthday party. Hi, Kimberly. Good morning. All right. So I want to give you the information, and then you're going to get a 30-page ebook access that I couldn't believe the difference in your video of the sweet potatoes. And what's interesting about that? Both are certified organic, which, it's like, why are the big box Stop and Shop? That came out of Stop and Shop, by the way. So Stop and Shop, do better in your produce buying, okay? In your produce sourcing for certified organic. Just do better. We want better. It's not good. It's not good. Yeah, I people like it. People like that, and they like to see the difference because, even in organic produce, and that's what we're going to talk about today. It's kind of a great lead-in for what we're doing today in our Kitchen Hacks class, because we're going to talk about ethical shopping, sourcing. Ethical sourcing makes me wonder about the organics I'm buying. When you're finished with this class today, Snickers, you are going to be so much happier and way more informed. You're going to understand. Join the recipe vault. You're missing out. Yeah, it's you're going to see a big difference, and you're going to understand so much more. Even though you've been here more than a year with me, I should have maybe done this class. I should do this class even once a month, but let's talk about it and let's do a really deep dive. I'm going to show you sort of behind the scenes. And this is how I source my food when I am shopping for my business, for my food, for my family, everything. I'm giving it all to you. Look at this packet. It's nice and fat and thick as usual. In the recipe vault this weekend, that is the place. If you guys aren't in that recipe vault for $5 a month, you're cheating yourself. Seriously, it's a good resource. You love my outfit today, my cool shirt? You can own one of these shirts too, You can get it in the LINK, the BIO. And you can get it actually in my TikTok shop. But I'm not allowed to say that now. I got to figure it all out. All right. This is my last and final cup of coffee today. I haven't even had one. And I have no more after this. I don't have anything to make it. It's very sad. All right. That's what I'm really waiting for. I'm wondering, why is she not talking about this? I want my coffee. Yippee! All right. This is a great class. Get a pen and paper out if you're not in the recipe vault so you can take notes. But I'm going to move fast. But if you really... I even have a seafood shopping list in here. We're going to cover it all today. I'm going to teach you definitions. I should have brought my whiteboard down. I should have wrote on the whiteboard. I need a tea kettle. Tim, my tea kettle broke. It doesn't work. It doesn't heat the water, and I just haven't bought another one. So I've been using a pot. Drives my husband crazy because I leave a little bit of water in the pot and then he whisks it away and he constantly spills water on the floor. It's a whole thing. There's a whole thing with the pot, Tim. I'm so glad, Felicia. All right, so we're going to talk about how to prioritize the grocery budget, how to support healthier food systems. I'm going to teach you all of it right now. Let's get in it. Love you, Tyler. Have a good day. Thanks for being here for a minute. You can catch the replay on YT. You can join the Book of Face. We're all here just for you. I got cold water and hot mushroom coffee. I'm ready to go. Hey, Andrew, nice to meet you. All right. Why does this matter? Why does it matter to know how to shop? Because we feel like shit. We don't feel good. We're all sick. We got all kinds of trouble. Hey, Jennifer, welcome in. I'm so glad you're all here today. Let's go. All right. And I look at it like this, right? When you talk about ethical sourcing and conscious shopping, it's like, to me, every purchase that we make in a grocery store is a vote, right? We're telling the food companies, we don't want chemicals in our food. We want organic. We don't want to eat crap. It's all those things. So every dollar you spend on food tells the food industry, what do you value? What's going to be the most important thing to me and my family? Thank you for my heart. Thank you. Level 5, Jen. Thank you so much. I'm going to add you on here. Yippee. Hold on. I wish I could figure out how to promote this. I thought I could promote it once I was on, and I don't see a place to do that. I found it. I'm going to promote this. Hold on one second, guys. Mm-hmm. All right, hold on. I'm getting there. Let's see how it does. Hold. Come on. Hold. Come on. Sorry, did I lose you guys? I totally lost you guys. All right, here I am. All right, why does this matter? Okay, so what does organic really mean? The word organic, it's not, kind of misunderstood and used in a lot of different ways that is not proper. So one of the most so certified organic foods are produced according to very strict standards. USDA now holds those standards. I actually tell a story many times that I was at the meeting back in the early 90s when when organic industry people, when we were discussing handing over the certification from like Organic Trade Association, NOFA, National Organic Safety Standards, all of these companies, all of these third-party certifications. I was there at the meeting when the USDA and the FDA showed up, and they were like, everything is safe and effective. And there were people, farmers from all over the country, producers from all over the country. We were at the CIA, and I remember them going, oh, everything is safe and effective. This will be good. You can trust us, all these things. My vote was no. My vote was no. But we handed it over. So, it generally prohibits synthetic pesticides, most synthetic fertilizers, genetically modified organisms, routine antibiotic in livestock, and artificial growth hormones. That's like that's the core. And then there's farming, right? Healthy soil, biodiversity, water conservation, animal welfare. So when you choose organic, not only is it your health, but you're talking about the health of the environment. Good morning, Nuggets. How are you? We got a flash goal. You guys ready for the flash goal? It says 18 gifters for an ice cream cone. We could do it. One ice cream cone. That's it. Per viewer. Thank you. All we need is one from each person. All right. So that's what organic looks like. Come on. Let me turn my notes. There's like a whole packet here. So now here's how the labeling works. The first label is the top tier, and that's where we'll say 100% organic. That means every single ingredient that is in that packaging is organic. 100%, you don't have to worry. It follows all those strict labeling laws. You can't get that label without it. You have to pay for that certification. Certifiers show up in facilities that test your product, all of that. Then organic, it means if you see a product that says organic, it doesn't say 100% organic, it just says organic. That means 95% of the ingredients are certified organic. So maybe they're using roasted red peppers and that's not organic, but the rest of it is. Is that why it's more expensive? Why? Because it's certified? Yes. Because along the way, right? you have to make sure the farm that the product is growing in is certified organic. Then when you're producing, you have to make sure your product is also certified organic, and everything you're producing on that machinery is certified organic. So for instance, like I have certified organic deli meats, that I can slice on a slicer, but I can't sell them as certified organic deli meat. Well, number one, I can't sell anything in my deli saying it's organic. I can say I use organic ingredients, but I can't promote it because I have to have my kitchen. I would have to pay to have the kitchen certified organic. Can't do it. So my deli meats that are certified organic, I never talk about it. I sell them that way, but I don't talk about the fact that they're organic. But the labels, like I have the meats out front that people can look at, when you go to a deli, so they can see it for themselves if they're paying attention. Most of the people that come to my shop are paying attention. All right. Then the next tier down is made with organic ingredients. That means that it contains at least 75% ingredients are organic. That's it. Now, after that, it doesn't matter. You can't say made with organic ingredients if it's 60%. You can have the ingredients there and you can list that they're organic, and you can say certified organic, whatever, apples, whatever. But you can't say in your packaging, made with organic, contains organic. You can't use those words. So the labeling structure is very clear. Now here's the one that gets me the most, because this is the one that confuses people the most. And all it is 100% strictly marketing. And that is when when packaging says all natural, made with natural ingredients. That is 100% a marketing term. It holds zero credibility in the market to mean anything at all. There's no meaningful government standard for natural on most packaged foods. That means that natural doesn't mean organic, chemical-free, sustainable. It is just a word. So when you see all natural ingredients, it means nothing. So just keep walking. Or what you do is you turn the box around or the package around and you start reading. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Polly. Yep. Yes. Now, what I like to see is the 100% certified USDA seal. And then I also love to see non-GMO, the non-GMO verified. I love that. I love that certification. Along with that, company for me is the most ethical, and I'll tell you why. You don't need both. If you're 100% certified organic, USDA certified, you're already paying for the top of the line certification. But then if you go that one step further and get the non-GMO verified, and you pay for that certification too, you are absolutely, and in my opinion, there's no way you're lying about that. You are super ethical, because you're showing people that not only do you're just giving them more information, and you cannot get that verified label, the GMO in the diaper. Yep. Awesome. Hold on, I want to show you that packaging. I'm coming, hold on. Hold on, peeps. Here. Native Forest is one of those companies. Thank you. I'm reading all my labels now. This is so informative. Oh, Polly, buckle in. We have a nice, you are going to love this. And I don't know if you're in my recipe vault. but there's 30 pages here we're going through today. And it's all about ethical sourcing. So share it out and let people know, because this is really good information. Okay, so hold on. Here you go. So I want you to see the label. There it is. So that's your USDA certification. And then this is your non-GMO verified. Let me see if I can get there it is. That one is by the certified organic. If it's organic, it's non-GMO label. And then hold on, I want to see. So this certified CCOF, they're wonderful. Here, so you have the USDA certified, that label you're looking for. Again, here it is. This is the one, Muir Glen, right? So here they have the USDA certification, and then if you turn it around, there's the other one. This is the one. They've been around a very long time. They were the first ones to start the organization. It is very expensive to go through their certification process, and they are zero joke.
What?
They don't F around at all, the non-GMO verified. Thanks for the follow.
What is
Appreciate
the better
that
certification?
Well, both of them are the best. The number one top of the line is the USDA certification.
Oh my God.
What?
Stop it. No. What is that now?
What do you get?
Cracker.
A cracker? How did you get a cracker? Look at him with the cracker. So now you know. Now, if you see natural, it means adrenaline. We did all the what? Oh, it's in the. All right, hold on. Adrenaline. I did all kale salads yesterday for you. I was talking about you all day, yes, all night.
Me?
No, Adrenaline Junkie. On Thursday night, we did all kale salads for you.
Look how good he is, Mom. He stands for me now.
He's a good boy. It's okay. It'll be on the, if you go to the Book of Face, Renee posted all the recipes, and obviously you'll see it in the replay. Yeah, we did all the kale salads. They were delicious. We did 4 different ones.
That was walking around our house.
Nice. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, now let's take a look at, let's go to the next step, and let's take a look at local versus organic. People often say, well, which is better?
Goodbye.
Bye. Love you.
I'm stealing your car.
You're taking my car?
Yeah, but I'll bring it back because I gotta bring Rachel. Rachel and I are going over to Sherman, Connecticut. Can
Okay.
you say that out loud? Sorry.
Bye, love.
I love you too.
All right, bring my car back.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so let's talk about local versus organic. So people often ask what's better, and a lot of people assume that when you go to a farmer's market, everything is organic. That is 100% not true. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about, and I'm not going to disparage local farmers because they are so important to our food system. What's my name? Chef Liz. Don't wear it out. What's your name? So a couple of things. I know we have a farm in town in Ridgefield where I work, where they talk about how they get very angry because they have certified their farm organic, and they say it is, it's crap that people don't want to certify their farms organic, but some farmers truly cannot afford that certification, and that could all be true. DM me, Snickers, and let's see what we can find. A lot of times if you connect to a local health food store, they will know local organic farmers. If you're in the Midwest, it's going to be a little harder because there's a lot of drift and cross-pollination, and which creates contamination to farms. Good morning, Cece.
Hello.
Hello.
Dora's pissed that I'm leaving.
They're going to cry. Can you bring them upstairs to Dad?
Always something like that, yeah.
Thanks, Cece. All right. So local advantages, right? You have fresher produce. You're supporting local farming. They often harvest much closer to the peak ripeness, right? So they're not ripening off the vine. They are, it's coming like our farmers markets tomorrow. Those farmers are usually pulling their produce today for wherever they're, going to their farmers market, wherever their farmers markets are. Smaller environmental transportation footprint, meaning now you're talking ethical, right? A farmer isn't really driving more than 50 miles, maybe 100 miles. Yeah. And it depends. It used to be, I love you too. It used to be that, local farming was like within 25 miles, now it's more like 50. I kind of think regional is 200 miles, 150 miles. Like I consider anything, I'm in the Northeast, so I consider anything Northeast is obviously regional. I would even say at this point, coastal regional along the East Coast, I kind of drift myself out there. So, and say, just because like Snickers was saying, a lot of places you can't necessarily find it as much. So, you want to be able to kind of broaden that scope so that you can still purchase good, clean food. Hey, Tony, thanks for the follow. Oh my God, this mushroom coffee is delicious. I might have enough for like a half a cup. All right, so the organic advantage, if you're going to do organic, the organic advantage is lower pesticide exposure, better soil management, and there's a strict certification standard. People will say, oh, that's bullshit, it doesn't work. I don't buy that. I can't buy that. I built my career on organic food. I cannot imagine. I mean, yes, there are non-ethical companies for sure, but for the most part, they're all, the people that are doing it right. Long term, I would never buy a Horizon. Sorry, Horizon, I won't buy your product. Dean Foods owns you. I would never buy organic. I mean, I would never buy Horizon products at all. However, if that's the only company you can get organic for dairy, then I would choose them over, a non-organic company. Here's the sweet spot. Whenever possible, you're going to choose food that's both local and organic. So if you're in a farmer's market, I would support the local organic farmer versus the one next to him that's not organic. I would. But that's me. That's my value system. I would talk to your farmers, ask how they grow their food. What type of pesticide management do you use? How are you fertilizing your food? They might be using chicken manure or cow manure from their farm, right? And now, what are you feeding your cows? Are you feeding your cows and chickens certified organic feed, or are you feeding them corn and soy that's genetically modified? This is the rabbit hole that we go down. Good morning, Mel. Thanks for my heart. Massachusetts, you don't have any certified. I'm in this area. You guys, can you reach out to me? I'll help you. I'll help you. Thank you. Thank you, Pri. I'm going to pin that comment. Yeah, so let's look at that. All right, our goal ended. I don't think we made it, but let's see what else we got going on. We could do these. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Annette One Feather. Oh, right, it was Annette One Feather that asked me about. Annette, you asked me about. Thank you. You asked me about. I said it was adrenaline, but Annette, I think it was you that asked me about kale salad, right? We did kale salad on Thursday night. I made 4 of them. The recipes are posted in the Book of Face with pictures. All right. So many small farms follow organic practices without paying for the certification, but I'd ask a lot of questions, and that's up to you. That would be up to you. Now, next step, I want to talk about the humane animal agriculture system in this country, because there's a lot of confusion and I want to set it straight now. So healthy animals produce healthier food, right? And humane animal agriculture focuses on raising livestock in ways that support their physical health, natural behaviors, and overall well-being, not to mention environmental safety and health of our environment. You want animals that experience lower stress, have access to nutritious diets, and are raised in clean, humane environments, right? That are generally require fewer antibiotic use and produce higher quality meats, eggs, and dairy products, right? So when you have an animal that's harvested or slaughtered with fear, that adrenaline in their body is going into your food consumption. Keep that in mind. For instance, fish is the I know it's not an animal, but a fish is the live food that is killed with the most fear adrenaline in their bodies. So I don't know. For me, that, it's like, oh, that makes me sad. I don't know, it just does. So I want you guys to come away with an understanding of the common food labels for livestock so that you can make better choices. So the first one is pasture raised. And what that means is that animals can spend a significant portion of their life outdoors. Not cage free, that doesn't mean crap, that's like natural, doesn't mean anything. They are on pastures where they are free to graze and forage and express their natural behaviors, right? So most livestock in this country, most beef, most cattle, most beef that you buy in a regular grocery store is fed corn and soy. That is not natural to their natural way of eating. In fact, some of the big industrial farms will cut a hole in a cow's stomach and add digestive enzymes into the animal. They leave like a funnel cut into the side of the animal, and they add digestive enzymes to break down the corn and soy because it's not natural for them, which, by the way, produces a tremendous amount of methane gas into the environment that our climate and environmental fighters, advocates, say, oh, eat plant-based. Well, if you feed a cow naturally on grass, you're not going to get that overproduction of methane gas. Just keep that in mind. Yes, but that costs way too much to do that. What do you mean? Wait, what are you saying, Adrenaline? Thank you, Wanda, for the follow. Love you guys for following. Thank you. Appreciate it. Let's see what we look like today. I have no idea. Let's see where our daily ranking is. Oh, we're still League 4. We're hanging on. We're hanging on to the league. That's our goal today, folks. I haven't looked at all their butcher box, but I believe they do a good job. Adrenaline, tell me what you mean by they cost way too much to do that. Thank you for the shares. I love that you guys are sharing this live out. All right, so you're welcome, Wanda. ButcherBox is not. I think it's actually a good program. I'm pretty sure, and they use all different farmers. Let me see. I'm pretty sure I looked at them once before, and I liked what I saw. I think there's one called Moo something also that's good. No bull, just meat with recipes. Interesting. See, that means nothing to me. No bull, just meat with recipes. What are you feeding me? I don't like that. Okay, let's see what it says. Packed with rich flavor means nothing. Nutrient dense could mean something, but I don't know what. Free of antibiotics or hormones. First time they're saying something informative. Whole and minimally processed means nothing. Protein packed, of course it's protein packed, it's meat. Humanely raised, what does that mean? I need more info. So far, their entire website is just marketing, which means nothing. Now you have to get into what are they talking about? So let's see what they say about sourcing. Most brands ask you to trust them. We'll show you why. They haven't said a word yet. Okay. They have certified humane label, animal welfare certified, the non-GMO project, and USDA. So they are saying they have all these certifications. I don't know if it's across the board. They have 200 plus ingredients. Look, at first glance, I'm like, okay, it could be a good company, but I need to dig deeper. What ingredients are all certified? It doesn't give you that information. Certified pasture raised, never confined to a feedlot. Their meat's coming from Australia. Grain finished beef from US. But is that non-cert? I don't know. I have to ask a lot of questions here. I am looking up ButcherBox at the moment. Only B Corp certified meat and seafood company that sources only from partners with meaningful third-party animal welfare certification. Global Animal Partnership, Marine Steward Council, Responsible Fishery Management, Aquatic Stewardship. I know all of these companies, and they are very good companies, but where do your cows, pigs, and chickens eat? Pasture raised, never confined to a feedlot, have continuous access to pasture. They source 2 types of beef. Grass-fed cattle is grass finished and eat natural diet of grass their entire lives. Now, here's my question. A year ago, hey, stepmom. Hi, Allie. Queen, we just went off the rails here to, we're talking about sourcing meat. Oh. Yeah, adrenaline, I don't know why they just can't put them in a pasture, right? But chemical companies have to make their chemical, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So I'm just saying, I want you guys to read, and you got to read deeply. Majority of grass-fed has to be fed hay during the winter. True. Or they're, I mean, hay, isn't that dry grass? So I will tell you, the number one grass that they feed grass-finished cattle in this country is alfalfa. And I can't remember when, I'm going to say at least 6 or 7 years ago, Monsanto's got alfalfa approved to be genetically modified. What a coincidence. So now, Adrenaline, are you saying that as tongue in cheek, or you truly believe what you're saying? Yeah, that makes you mad, doesn't it, Snickers? That's why now I ask for my beef. I want it genetically modified. I want a GMO certification that it's GMO free. 100% I want to ask that. You believe it. Okay. So I come from a place, and I think this is a really good conversation to have, Adrenaline, right? I believe in a place that says we as a culture have put food on the bottom of our list, right? We shop sales if we can get eggs at 99 cents because we've become a culture of consumption where we need $1,000 sneakers, $1,000 phones every two years. We need the fanciest car. You know, we have a closet full of clothes, and I'm speaking also from myself, Adrenaline. So to me, if we turn those values around and say, pay now or pay later, if our food system, if we put 30% more dollars into our food budget, you could feed we all could feed our families better food and make it affordable for them. It's just our value system has switched, right? We've been a culture that's beat into thinking eggs are 99 cents, milk's $1 something. Meanwhile, milk's $6, right? Or $7 for a half gallon. And we shouldn't be drinking milk anyway. But you see that, so people can't afford cheap food now. Right. But who do you know that can't afford cheap food that has a brand new iPhone? I can name 10 people I know that basically are scraping rent together, but they have the latest iPhone. So where do we look at the culture and say, wait a minute? And I agree, there are definite, yes, it is a choice. I really believe that, Adrenaline. And I believe we have been made to think and expect that food is cheap. And if food was, and if that is the case, then why are our babies the sickest babies in the world? Why are we as a culture so sick with autoimmune disease? Why are we as a culture have in a first world country have one of the highest cancer rates, one of the infant mortality rates? It's like there's something wrong with that picture. And I agree with you, Adrenaline, that we as a culture can't afford good food, but it's because we've been made to think. Exactly, Jay. But it's because we're made to think that this is more important than putting good food on our counter. If we as a culture stood up and said, F you, I'm not buying those yams that I showed you guys in that last video, you know, I want these yams and they're 40 cents more a pound. Fix that, you know? And I agree, Adrenaline. Your statement is real, and it's true that Americans can't afford real food, good food. But look at what our culture's done. Our fertilizer companies and our government are subsidizing farmers that are using genetically modified seed, and they're suing and putting the farmers out of business who get cross-contaminated with genetically modified seeds and have been told you violated what's the not copyright, patent laws, and you're using my seeds. Meanwhile, these poor farmers are saying it drifted and pollinated. I don't want your seed. So where is our culture? We need to turn around and say, no, that's not how it's going to work. I want my regenerative farmers to be supported. I don't want methane gas farting cows supported. It's the mindset. It's our mindset. It's the way we've been trained, right? Pay our farmers, right? Pay the ethical farmers. Pay the farmers that are not buying, feed that destroys our fertilizers that are resistant, bug resistant. You don't need that if you are farming the way, and that's what our culture is going back to. I mean, how many people do you see farmsteading on this? How many people are moving back to regenerative agriculture? We're going to talk about that in a minute. I think what you said, adrenaline, is so important to look at, and as a culture of people, and as a group of people that care about what goes on our plates, this is what we're talking about, It is very scary, isn't it? Jay, I listen, I have been following this industry since I'm 18 years old. Next week, I'll be 62. I have been finding and educating in this industry. That's what happens. I agree with you, adrenaline. I'm coming from the perspective that it shouldn't be that way, right? And I just feel like we cannot give up. We have got to fight that fight, because if we don't, what's left for the generations ahead of us? Nothing. Nothing's left. We have to stand here and say, I'm not accepting this. It has to be different. And the awareness that I see, I mean, years ago, I was the one in my neighborhood. Now, at least I can find like-minded people. I have 20,000 people that follow me that believe what I'm saying. I just can't even believe that. 21,000 people or something now? 20,200 people have pushed the button. In my opinion, that's like, wow, that's like 10 million to me in this industry. I was running around screaming and yelling at my family, and they looked at me like I was a lunatic at 18 years old. Well, we're not doing that, Jose, here, please. That's a different place. I don't want to go there. Hi, Beauty and the Beast. Thanks for the follow. My grandchild said the other day, "What are my children going to eat? If the farmers give up." Yeah, I mean, Monsanto's had to pay thousands of dollars, millions of dollars to these people that are, getting non-Hodgkin's lymphoma from those chemicals. I mean, the little things that we can do is build a pollinator garden, right? Buy your seeds from that Burpee place, Burpees. I think they've really committed to non-GMO. Put a butterfly bush out there. Make sure your bees have plants that you didn't buy at Home Depot that have genetically modified plant, chemical resistant or bug resistant chemicals spliced into their genes. Adrenaline, so you're a farmer. That's what you're telling me. You're a farmer, right? You've got to stand the test of time. Do you ship, adrenaline? Do you ship? I know, it's disgusting. Plant milkweed and native flowers, exactly. You do? All right, I'll buy your pork. I'll buy your pork. If you're raising it clean, I'll buy it. I'll support you. 100% I'll support you. Please send me a place that we can connect. Where'd you go? So you get it. You're forced to do something you don't want to do, because if you don't, you can't put food on your family's plate. And that's not the way it should be. Right, a whole hog costs $1,000 to $1,200. I'd rather buy from him than Walmart anyway. Exactly, Jay. But that's the point. That's where we have to get to. Wait, I've seen someone show organic cooked chicken breast that was on a counter for over a month, no mold, nothing. You mean non-organic? I mean, that I find that hard. I don't know. I don't know. I'd have to hear more about what you're talking about. I mean, they do that with McDonald's and all those big companies, right? All right. So we're talking humanely raised. Now we talk about pasture raised. We talked about that, right? The standards vary by certification. So you have to look for this third party verification. You have to understand them. That's the only thing I didn't put in this. I should have done all the certifications. I'm going to add them. All right. Can you reach out to me, Adrenaline? You have my email. Can you reach out to me? I'll promote your pork. Grass fed. The animal's diet consists primarily of grasses and forage throughout most of its life rather than grain based, right? So some places where you see just grass fed. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't hold that. I would have to hear more of that. You know what I mean? I would totally have to hear more about what that person was up to. Are they just doing that to, give organic food a bad name? One time I went to a trade show. It was right when genetically modified was happening. And they had some dumb chef. So they have little talks at trade shows, right? And I was at the National Product Expo, and it was back in probably the mid 90s, late 90s, I don't know. And I went, all right, I'm gonna go and see what this one was about. It was like all about, what's in your food and understanding. Thanks for the follow. And understanding, and the chef gets up and is like, oh, there's no difference between genetically modified. We've been bioengineering food for, 100 years. And, he was trying to blend the fact that, how we get orange cauliflower or purple cauliflower, or you get pomelos, how they crossbreed a vegetable to like change the color. They were trying to say that adding pig genes or a fertilizer, into it was the same thing. I lost my mind. I'm much calmer nowadays. I try and talk information rather than scream and yell. And I jumped up. I mean, there must have been 250, 200 people in the room. And I jumped up and I said, we're talking about promoting organic food. You're sitting here trying to tell people that it's the same thing, and it's not. This is when Monsanto's first started with the Roundup and they were like, bees weren't dying yet. It was like, we weren't even at that point. And, the whole place just went berserk. A third of the room was screaming at me to shut up. And the other 2/3 were, hooping and hollering. Yeah, tell them. And, I basically shut it down because I was like, wait a minute, don't be a shill for you're here to support organic food. Don't be a shill for the chemical companies. We don't want you here. Jay, is it science or is it manipulated data? I think there's a very big difference. Oh, we're talking about that today, Char Strike. I often ask that question. Is this scientific or is it manipulated data to get us the results we want? It takes like 5 years, I think. 5 years or is it 11? I forget the number now. It used to be like 3 years of transition, then it went to like 5. Now I think it might even be close to like 9 or 11 years to transition soil. Adrenaline, do you know the answer to that? Or you're driving, don't answer me. I'm looking it up. Oh, they're still saying it's a 3-year transition. I don't know about that. All right. So grass fed, right? So now what we talk about, for me, grass fed, I'm not interested in grass fed. I want grass finished. And here's the reason why. So the animal's diet consists primarily of grasses and foraging throughout most of its life, but they finish it on grain, soy and corn. Now, if you have clean grass and then you turn around and finish that animal on grain, you know, is it certified non-GMO? It's very hard to do that. Is that stuff still in the soil? I wonder. I mean, look, in order to get your certification to be certified organic, you have to prove that your soil is clean, your equipment is clean. You can't, that's why it's so hard right now to get corn and soy, because all the silos are producing and it has all the residuals. So you need silos that are just producing soy and corn that's 100% certified organic. And because those are so genetically modified and your farms are so close together, it is not an easy task at this point. And, you know, I hear that more and more from farmers and producers, you know. Thank you from my heart, guys. If you can help us get to that goal today and you're loving what you're hearing and you want to bless this, our little space, I'm happy. I'm happy either way, but if you could bless us, I love it. If you want to hear more about, what I do here, you can catch the replays on YT. We also have a big community on the Book of Face. I cook all week long. This class is kitchen hacks. Sometimes I cook, but this one is really just about what we're talking about today. Thank you. Tapping, all those blessings are wonderful. And then if you go to the Book of Face, you'll find my list. And these are all the classes for the month of July. So this is my newsletter. You get a recipe. I talk about the All Access Pass. We always highlight some of my followers when they post pictures on Book of Face. So get your pictures up there from the recipes. And then I always write you guys a little love letter. How much I love you and what's going on. So this is our schedule for the month. You can also join us here, join us there, and that will get you on our email list. I don't send out a lot of emails because I'm too busy, although that will start someday. And then if you go to the LINK and the BIO, I have a lot of, I have a recipe vault. It's $5 a month. There's over 600 recipes and all of our kitchen pharmacy ebooks, kitchen hacks ebooks. You have all this. So this one happens to be 30 pages. And in here, I give you all kinds of checklists in here, what you're looking for, all these terms, so you can read them again. It's very informative. Okay, so grass fed. So what they do is they finish on grain. If it is not certified non-GMO, you know, you're looking at that and saying, oh, I don't know, you know. So do your homework. Grass finished is from birth till harvest. The animal is on grass. Now, remember what I said. Now, for this one, unfortunately, now we need the non-GMO verification. That is very hard to get from a meat producer. They don't like to put that. Let me see. I think I might have some frozen Thousand Hills. Thomas Farms is doing it. All grass fed, grass finished, Thomas Farms. They do lamb, veal, and beef. I like this company and their steaks are pretty good. This is a good company. Thousand Hills, another good company that I really like. Nyman Ranch is doing a very good job. We're going to talk about them in a minute. And then I should really find some like shipping people that I can help you with. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, Casey. I would stay so far away from that. And right now that is not in the market. You're not buying lab meat yet. It's not mixed into the market just yet. I'm going to add a couple of things to this. I'm going to add the certifiers before I send this to today. I'm going to add a list of the certifiers because I didn't put this in here, and I think that's a really good thing to have. And I'm also going to look into like the mail order companies, Butcher's Box, and and the companies that are doing food correctly. Now I know Thousand Hills you can order from. I don't know about Nyman. I'm going to check those for you guys. Nyman. Thomas Farms is fabulous. I'll find out for you, okay? And then I'll talk to Adrenaline too, and maybe we can get her on the list. Lily Hill. All right, I'll look at them too. Is that you? I think that that's an exploration. I just don't know if that's actually the case yet. All right. So grass finished, 100% start to finish grass fed. However, you have, and they've never been transitioned to a grain diet, but now at this point, especially like if you're not like in the South, and you have the change of seasons where there's no grass and they're eating dried grass. Remember what I said? Monsanto's got a patent on genetically modified alfalfa, which is the #1 grass you can feed your animals. You finish your animals on. So that pisses me off. And there's a wonderful movie that kicked off, if you want to watch a documentary that kicked off every other food documentary that is out there now. Deborah Garcia, yes, she was married to a Grateful Dead guy, Jerry. Deborah Garcia did a movie, I think back in like 92 or 94, and it was called The Future of Food. And it traces, this movie makes me cry. It traces the genetically modified food and how we got to patenting, how the Supreme Court allowed patenting of something living to happen. Never before were we able to patent life until one of our Supreme Court justices, who sat on Monsanto's legal team for, I think, 20 years, got nominated and accepted to the Supreme Court. It's an eye-opening documentary. So go find that movie and watch it and lose your mind. Yeah, it's pretty horrible. And when you watch it, I am not saying it's one side of the aisle or the other. I don't think there's a difference when it comes to the revolving door of lobbyists. Right? There is no difference. What is the name again? It's called The Future of Food by Deborah Garcia. And I'm pretty sure at this point, it might even be on Netflix or something. I don't know. Oh yeah, it came out in 2004. I feel like it came out way before then. Here, this is it. That's the movie. Eye-opening. Yeah. The Future of Food. I would watch it. It's unbelievable. All right. Grass finish we talked about. Certified humane. Oh, Look at me getting the puzzle piece. Been sitting in front of this camera for an hour. Okay. Oh yeah, you can watch it. I would watch it. You have a box of tissues, take notes. It's ridiculous. It makes me so mad. All right, if you guys, we're accepting all blessings today. All blessings right there. We have to keep our fragment. All right. Certified humane. So this is an independent, thank you, Queen. This is an independent certification that verifies that farms meet established animal welfare standards, including adequate space, clean shelter. Thank you so much, Queen. Proper nutrition, veterinarian care, handling practices that minimize stress. Certified humane products are regularly audited. So, but keep in mind, right? It's just the way they live. It's not if they're fed antibiotic. It's not if they're fed growth hormones. It's not any of that. It's just the way they are. They live. Let me see if I can find it. If I can show you. Yeah, it's on YouTube. It's probably on Netflix. You could watch on YouTube. I mean, it's out there. It's been around forever. You know, if you want to go to her website, the website where it is, and you give them $5, you know, but yeah, it's great. It's the one that kicked it all off. I should also add to this. I should really add to this list, all the movies that I think are great to watch. I'll add these 3 things. I think they're important to have. And then you can download it all, and you can download it in the LINK, the BIO. You can join the movement here. You can send love here. You can do all the things. Share and like. Let's get to 100,000. We haven't gotten to 100,000 since the change of this thing. It's so nonsense. Hi, Lizina. Okay, so that's certified humane, animal welfare approved. Hey, Swizz. Thanks for my heart. So this is the highest one, animal welfare approved. Let me show you the logo. Oh, I'm going to have to get you guys these logos. I'm sorry I didn't put it in, but we'll do it. I'll get it for you because it's important to have. This is the logo. I know I have it backwards, but that's the logo that you're looking for. Okay. Thank you for my sea of love. Thank you for the camping. Yippee. Yay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Okay. So it's the highest animal welfare certification, and it's administered by A Greener World. This program certifies that animals are raised outdoors on pasture or range, and they're using sustainable farming practices. Those are strong standards for humane treatment throughout their lives, and also discusses harvesting. So in our world, the organic food world, we don't slaughter animals, we harvest them. It's semantics, but it makes everybody feel better, but that's how we say it. We harvest the animal. Thank you so much for all that love, guys. That's it. Now we just need like a nice galaxy or something to create that final blessing to keep us going. Thank you. Appreciate all the love today. Thank you, Queen. So I prefer that wording. Yeah, it's much better. It's a much better way to think about it. And honestly, when you think about harvesting, right? Think about this. And Nyman Ranch, Bill Nyman, I got to meet him. I brought his meats in before he sold, years and years ago, back in 2005. I got to meet him. He was friends with a customer from our store, and she was mail ordering his meat. And then he came to meet our tiny little store that we were in before we went to the big one that I'm in now. And I met him, And I said, well, how do you raise your animals? Because nobody talks about that. And he showed me his pigs, because at the time, Nyman Ranch was only doing pork. They hadn't branched out to lamb and beef yet. And the pigs were like on beds of hay. They weren't traveling more than, I think it was like 15 miles or 20 miles to harvest, because a lot of these factory farms and big farms and even smaller farmers, they were like, cramming their animals on these trucks and, dragging them to a place. And that's what I love about Temple Grandin. She got into the psyche of the animals, the cattle, and actually built a humane sort of way that the animals traveled, so that they had not so much fear when they would be harvested. And it makes a difference to the flavor of the meat, to the health of the animal. It's really it's okay. I'm professionally trained vegan chef. I prefer vegan food over animal food all day long. However, I also respect the fact that people love to eat meats, and I want to raise them from a place of, oh my God, I pass them all the time down here in North Carolina. I cry every time. Hi, Mrs. Stay Happy. You see? I did not understand that concert, so I could not understand the movie. Wait, what? Cece, explain what you're saying. I don't understand. Snickers, it's so terrible to see that. I know you always make eye contact, right? Oh, the concept of the movie that I was talking about. Oh, the future of food. Yeah. Yes, thank you. Yippee. Thank you, Sea Love. Thank you for my campground. Yay. Ooh, oh, we could get 2 fragments today. I think we could do that. We got all our goals. All right, hold on. I'm going to set more goals because we need them, and we're going to be here for a while. We're only on page 4. Guys, we're on page 4, and we are and we have 30 pages. So I'll stay here all day, however long you guys want me to be here. We're gonna get through this because I think it's such an important topic, and it's really gonna help you guys make decisions about food. That is so important. Thank you for all the love. I really appreciate it. It's so helpful, and I need it because I mess up my algorithm because I haven't been here. I've been so busy. This week, we have a busy week. Are you guys ready? For anybody that hasn't heard, we are going to be, tomorrow I'm going to be in the kitchen most of the morning. I'm getting ready. Thank you. I'm getting ready for a catering gig that you're coming on with me Monday afternoon. Then Monday night, we have our chef's table class. Hold on, let's do a quick commercial break. Our class on Monday night is high protein meals and snacks for gym girls, gym boys too. And then Tuesday we'll be in the kitchen again, getting everything ready for my salad cookbook photography shoot. So Wednesday morning we have our kitchen pharmacy classes on depression, nourishing the brain through food. We're going to talk about the role of food. The Chuck stuff with pigs. It's so sad. Yeah, I get it. And then Wednesday, so after the depression class, we are going to be doing our photo shoot. And we're going to be here all day. You're going to meet Jacqueline and Chris. I've been talking about them forever. Thank you, Swizz. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. You have no idea how much it's going to help us today. So we are, you're going to get to see behind the scenes photo shoot for food. Mention the cooking class. Oh yeah. And then tomorrow night is, if you guys want to get a seat, it's $25. It's the only class you pay for. And it's not on here. It's a Zoom class. And it's summer salads and refreshing sips. We're going to have fun. That's a great class. You get all the recipes. We send them to you ahead of time. You can shop. We make 3 of them, 3 or 4, and then we cook together. So if you love that and if you want to hang out with us without this, please come join us. It's great. You just can't anymore. I mean, pork, they don't have a detoxification system. You're eating all the goobers. That's adorable. Thank you for that. Over the cloud. That's super cute. Thank you, Rachel. Oh my God. Thank you so much. We're having so much fun. Can I use frozen blueberries? Blueberries just got added to our foods to avoid. Yes. I'm going to do a video about that chlorosporo for you guys. Sunday, cucumber mint cooler, a summer corn and blueberry salad, grilled peaches and burrata. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a good time. All right, let's talk about regenerative agriculture, because here's the big one. It's brand new. I mean, it's not brand new, but it's like kind of new to the market of animal welfare and animal practices and raising animals in the organic world. And Nyman Ranch has done an unbelievable job in embracing this farming culture and really bringing it out. And so regenerative agriculture is a farming approach that works to restore and improve the health of the land while they're producing food. So they use all the regular, like chickens are out in the pasture cleaning the grass, taking the bugs and mealy things out, and pooping naturally and giving it fertilizer, and they're feeding those animals certified organic feed, what they're naturally fed. Then they allow the cows to get in and they kind of go around the fields, right? And all their sections of the fields are run in that way. And it really makes for a better space. I have to get really close to the camera because I can't see anything. I love that you guys are keeping the chat rolling and you're liking everything. It really helps. We love to get to like 100,000 taps or 200,000. And then if we can share out and get that to like 200, that really promotes everything that we're doing here. And it makes a big difference. Thank you. All right, now, so regenerative agriculture, right? Farmers use practices such as rotating grazing, cover crops, composting, reduced tillage. So they're not cleaning the fields or mowing the grass or taking away like ground cover. They're leaving it really beautiful. Then they diversify crop rotation. So if they plant X amount of things in one area, then the year after they take something else, so they're not leaching from the soil the same nutrients, and it keeps things going, right? That's what it looks like for regenerative agriculture. It builds healthy soil, it increases biodiversity, it improves water retention, and captures carbon from the atmosphere. So healthy soil creates the healthier plants, healthier animals, and then more resilient farms. So we have a movement growing in this country where, the farmers that understand ethically how to take care of our environment, the true environmentalists, I believe, they are making the difference with this regenerative agriculture. They are doing it right. The farmers that are taking care of their animals the right way, the way they were naturally supposed to be raised, they are doing it the right way. Sorry, that's what I believe. Now, the next step to this has become regenerative organic certified. This is new. The only farm that I see right now using this certification is Nyman Ranch. I haven't seen the smaller farms take this on. I'm sure it's going to be expensive and not necessarily easy to do. What's up? On brand. Guess what? We're photographing the cookbook on Wednesday. I'm going to be live all day with Jacqueline and Chris. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm so excited. This is one of the most comprehensive certifications available. It builds on the USDA organic standard. It requires the farms to meet additional criteria in these 3 areas: soil health and regenerative farming practices, animal welfare and humane treatment, and then fair treatment and safe working conditions for the farm workers. Well, that's the thing. It's coming from the customer, because a steak, a 10-ounce steak or an 8-ounce steak is going to be like $17 to $25. I'd like to see government subsidy to it, but along with government subsidy, sometimes they're forcing fertilizer, right? Lundberg Farms, great farm. That's rices and grains. Yep. That's the only rice I use. In fact, let's look at their bag. So there you go. They're doing the non-GMO. They have the USDA certification. They have the organic is non-GMO and more. So they have both. They have SOF, the COOF certification, and the non-GMO, and regenerative organic certified. So they're doing it right. They have 100,000 pounds organic matter per acre. We grow rice in adobe clay soil. Migratory birds. So their fields provide vital habitat and nutrition for migratory birds. They've rescued 30,000 duck eggs. Adrenaline. I wonder where the money's coming from. It's a good research thing to look at, adrenaline, actually, and not a bad idea. Let's follow the money. Okay, so ROC certified farms focus on rebuilding ecosystems, producing food that supports people, animals, and the environment, and it represents a holistic approach to agriculture. It values the health of the entire food system. Big deal. Love to see a big movement. Love to get a couple of million acres worth of farmland to get there. You know, and you know, what Adrenaline talks about is really important. How do we get there and make it affordable to the farmer and to the end consumer? That's the question. How do we do it? It isn't an easy thing, right? Oh my God, look at this, guys. We're going to make it. We're going to get 2 fragments today. That's what we need right now. Yes, Mary, but who's willing to pay for it? That's the question. Are we willing to hold on to our phones an extra 2 years? So that we have the money in our budget to change. Remember, it's a 30% difference to be 100% organic in your house. So 30% of your food budget. If you're spending $200, you need an extra $60, right? 36, an extra $100 almost to can you afford that a week? $400 more a week, right? A little less. To pay for food. Where does that $400 come from? Does it come from gas? Do you keep your car an extra year? I would. I mean, when I met my husband, so I've lived this way my entire life, right? I also have the unique advantage of working in a health food store where, you know, I get a little bit of perk in terms of buying food for my family. It costs 50 cents a pound versus 7 cents a pound for feed organic versus regular. That's a jump. That's a jump adrenaline. But here's the thing, right? To what end? Right, and we haven't added the labor. Right now, in our area, our payroll has jumped from $12 an hour to $17 an hour. I'm paying high school kids $17 an hour that cannot function in a work environment, have no human to human people skills. They can't be without their phones. They have to have their phones on them or they have an absolute fucking meltdown, you know? And I won't make my food suffer. But so I'm in a unique space and I don't like to preach and say, you have to do this. But what I am saying is each time a food runs out, replace it with the organic version. Look at the top 20 foods you eat all week, you know, that are in your food circle every day. What are you feeding your children every single day? And make those ingredients organic first. And as they run out, don't throw out your garlic powder, but when your garlic powder runs out, replace garlic powder, whatever it is, replace your butter, replace one thing at a time each time something runs out. And before you know it, 60% of your pantry is going to be certified organic food. Also, look at this. I brought this home. This is so there's a company that's nationwide. It's an organization called INFRA, Independent Natural Retailers Association. It is an industry, health food store industry organization that creates buying power nationwide for small independently owned health food stores. If you go to Infra's website and you put your zip code in to find company, find the independent local retailer in your area, most of them have a flyer like this. Because we're buying from us, because we belong to that, Infra can go to the big natural food distributors and say, we are buying like a huge grocery store. So we want the same type of deals. This allows small independents to be able to pass on those discounts to the consumer. Okay. So in that, and I wanted to show you how this works. You will find a flyer similar to this in most retail stores that belong to Infra. It is, it is pretty standard, and it's 5 pages every month of huge, big deals of food, okay? Supplements, cleaning products, like Alden ice cream this month is $8.99 for the half gallon. Or ground flaxseed for 14 ounces is $8. They have True Earth laundry detergent. They have Soy Delicious in here. All the big brands that we love. Primal Kitchen Mayo is in here. Bubby's sauerkraut. Udi's. There's Beyond Burger, although I'm not a fan of that. There's sugar. Powdered sugar is $4 a pound. That's a pretty good deal. Pellegrino waters, 2 for $4. So there's some really good deals that are going to go up against the natural retail, the big box stores. Do they have Ladle of Love? No, you have to get that from me. Look, they have the Vital eggs, pasture raised, $8 a dozen. Follow Your Heart, organic stringless cheeses. They have chips, the Olipop sodas. So you can find, they have the Safe Catch tuna for $4, $3.29 a can. That's a great price. So you can get this flyer pretty standard across the country in the independent stores that belong to Infra, INFRA. Now, you have to look and find independent natural retailers. You put your zip code in and you will find the stores that are participating. And it will help you find those deals. Conscious shopping, right? Oh, that is true, guys. If you love soup, my soup cookbook, you can get it actually right here through the organic through my Stan store. I'll sign it for you. It's lovely. Love by the ladle. All right, let's keep moving because we're only still on page 4. What time is it? Oh my God, it's almost 12 o'clock. That's so funny. We're going to keep going. Love your recipes in that cookbook. They're so good. You know what's great about this for my soup lovers out there? This book doesn't have foofy soups. It has all the soups you love. Chicken corn chowder, split pea soup, lentil soup. It has how to make stock and bone broth. And it has beautiful pictures that were photographed right here in this house by the same photographer. You can even have a picture of yours truly. And then look at that beautiful photograph. This was photographed by my by Jacqueline and her husband Chris. Pretty cool, right? I love it. So we're just about to do the next one. And a bonus recipe, a family favorite. Yes, I do send that. If you buy it through my the Stan store, and it's a great gift. It's beautiful, and I ship it out. I sign it with a little note. All these pictures came from my beautiful friend, and she'll be here this week. We're going to do it together, and you're going to be here the whole day. Yippee. All right. Why does it matter? Regenerative organic agriculture, better living conditions, access to fresh air and outdoor spaces, opportunities to express natural behavior, reduces stress, less routine use of antibiotic. All right. Let's talk about seafood. This is a big one. Oh my God, I think we're going to need to do 2 of these. We're going to be here all day with this today. Hold on. Let me see if I can. Hello. I gotta move you guys back. Okay. So seafood is one of the most nutrient dense foods you can eat, right? But it's also the least regulated of the food industry. And even though it provides like a high quality protein, very lean, omega-3 fatty acids, vitamin D, iodine, selenium, and essential nutrients, exactly, Heather. Didn't we grow up wrong? I think what's important about seafood is really understanding the world of seafood and what it means. No, that's okay. That's okay. You know, I grow up and I tend to want to believe people, what they say to me. I want to believe, that people are ethical, pure, doing things for the right reason. But, and then they're not. But I guess we have to go and we have to question everything. So when you go to your fish purveyor, and most of the time now we don't have, like, butchers, fish stores are kind of the way of the past. Even when you get into like the central part of the country, you get less and less access to fresh fish, obviously. I'm going to put that down too. I have a couple of places where you can send, mail order fish too. I'm gonna put all of these down for you guys. That way you have them and you'll be able to get it in the LINK, the BIO. It's $5 a month. That's it. That's it. Yeah, I don't know what that guy was up to. Miss you guys so much. Life isn't the same without my happy place. I love you, Pri. Okay, however, not all seafood is harvested or raised the same way that supports healthy oceans, healthy fish, or healthy people. So it's really important that today you take away understanding how seafood comes from, where it comes from, how do you make the choice, where do you find the right information. So a lot of people say wild caught is better, farm raised is better. Farm raised does get a bad rap a lot of times, as it should. And wild caught also doesn't necessarily tell you all the ins and outs either. And I think there's pros and cons for both. And we're going to talk about those today so that when you go and you read, you understand. First and foremost, origin of seafood is an absolute must when you are selling fresh fish. It has to be displayed on the card in the fish case. It cannot not be there. So when you go to any store, anywhere in this country, you must be able to see place of origin for seafood. That is a must. If it is not there, you have every right to ask for it. And if they don't know it, I would not be buying seafood there. Find somewhere else to go. Because if they can't tell you where seafood is coming from, it also has to be stated whether or not it has been previously frozen. If they are not saying that, you can ask it. You can ask, has this fish been previously frozen? If it just says salmon on there, or king salmon, or any, like coho salmon, you have a right to ask, where is it from? And is it previously frozen? It is by law supposed to be on there. You're fined to X amount of thousands of dollars per infraction, by the way. I would not buy previously frozen fish. I wouldn't do that. Now, if you're in the middle of the country and that's the only way you can buy fish, I would explore like companies that are shipping fish frozen from like the Pacific Northwest, and buy it that way. And I have a company for you guys. I just don't remember the name off the top of my head. It's in my shop. I've showed it to you guys a couple of times. I think it's called Wild for Salmon. Might be the name of the company, I think. Let me see. So you're going to ask a few simple questions when you go to a food establishment that is serving fish. And we're going to talk about those as we move along. So let's talk. I want to talk about So the important question is how the fish was caught and raised, right? Those are the things that you want to know. So some wild fisheries are very carefully managed and highly sustainable. Those I find are like European, right? When you go to when you buy fish out of Scotland or Ireland, I feel like the fisheries, like Westeros is a really good company. They do their fish right. They bring it through the Faroe Islands. Faroe Island fisheries also, for me, I find that salmon is really good. Iceland, a really good place to get fish from. North Pacific, I like. But for me, I would rather get fish from Scotland and Iceland and like the Gloucester, Massachusetts, that pathway up in that area for us, because I don't want to fly fish across the country. I don't know. I'd rather get Arctic char from Iceland than North Pacific salmon. It's just how I feel. Scandinavian, yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's closer. I also get very worried about Fukushima and the radiation that dumped into the ocean. Is it in the North Pacific now? I don't know. I don't have an answer for you. I just don't have an answer. But I want northeastern seafood, across the pond seafood. Everything has to be flown in. Exactly, Kathy. So where? But you can get from the Colorado River, but there was some kind of a dump in the Colorado River a few years back that changed like the sockeye and the Colorado, what is that? The steelhead and the sockeye salmon. I'm going to sit down if I'm going to be here for a little while longer, if you guys don't mind. Yeah, in North Carolina. Yeah. The seafood, I get a white tiger shrimp off the coast of Connecticut that I really like. I'm afraid of the gull shrimp. Remember the big oil spill during what was that, 12 years ago? It was like spilling for like, I don't know, over 6 months. And then they put a disbursement chemical. Like, what did that do to the fisheries? You never hear about the Gulf anymore and what happened there. I don't know. I don't have a thought about it, Thea. I don't know. West of 95 here in North Carolina. So there's a dump that happens from the Midwest tributaries of the Mississippi and like all those rivers. There's a dump that goes in what you're talking about right there. Eat fish west of 95. So there's like a dump into the ocean, like right above the Carolinas, that happens twice a year, I think, something like that. That floods that down fish eastern coast of don't know what. Somebody told me about that quite a few years ago, and they say the same thing. They're not eating fish down the East Coast. Copper River Alaskan salmon is my favorite. Yeah. Now, Copper River isn't that Colorado? Isn't that the Colorado Copper River? Isn't that? Hold on, hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Okay. I had to take a call and miss what you were saying about the grocery stores, the websites to go to. I said I'm going to write them for you, Elizabeth. I'm going to write down like grocery stores. Not grocery stores, but like places that you can mail order fish and meats, and the companies that I think are really good that you should be buying steaks from and meats and stuff. All right. So likewise, some farm fish. Thank you. Thank you so much. My little chef hat. Love that. I'm so glad they made a chef hat. It's so cute. Thank you, Swizz. You know, I used to get, what was the name of the salmon I used to buy from Europe? Lac de Rot salmon. I was buying it for years. And one time I was in Disney eating in a restaurant, and on the menu it said Lac de Rot salmon. And I said, uh-oh, it's not good. I can't buy it anymore. Shortly after that, there was a huge, I used to follow this website. I'm not going to say it because it's too stressful. And I won't say the website. I don't even think it's around anymore, actually. Shortly after that, there was So somebody's coming to my house right now. I have to give them some money from the party. So I might have to dip for a minute. I'll pause the live and then I'll come back, okay? Thank you for my happy weekend as soon as she comes. I just have to give her the money, but I'll pause the live for like 5 minutes so that I can give her the money, and then we'll get back to this because we're only on page 5. I got 30 pages to go. All right, so you know what I'm gonna do? All right, let me think about this. I want to think about something for you guys. Hang tight. All right, anyway, so, all right, learning to ask, what was I just saying? Oh, Lock to Rot. Shortly after that, there was a website that I used to follow all the time to get emails. Haven't seen it in a long time, but they showed pictures of chemicals that they were dispersing into the locks for the salmon, and I immediately stopped doing business with them. I didn't even wait to find out if it was true or what, or have them defend themselves. I just left. And now I work with Westeros out of Scotland, and my purveyors talk highly of them. There is no such thing as biologique or certified organic salmon. That's a big fat lie. There's no certification currently for salmon. Thank you for my kisses. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for lighting up my hearts in the gift gallery. Thank you, Mimi. So keep that in mind. They do have a biologique organic black pearl salmon that comes from Europe. Which one? The biologique one, the black pearl salmon? I used to serve it. And sometimes if I can't get my Westeros, I will bring it in. Yes, I would say it's okay. But there is no such thing as a certified organic salmon in the United States. It is not recognized. So let's talk about the open ocean pens here in the oceans. Many farm-raised fish, particularly salmon, are raised in these large floating net pens anchored along the coastlines, and they're called open net pens or ocean pens. And they allow fish to grow in the natural seawater, and they also create several environmental concerns. And they talk about waste pollution, where thousands of fish are living in one enclosure. They produce enormous amounts of waste. And unlike a land-based fish farm, the waste is released directly into the surrounding ocean, where they say it can increase nutrient pollution, reduce oxygen levels, damage sensitive marine habitat, and it affects nearby shellfish beds and wild fish populations. So I don't necessarily, I have never bought ocean penned, farmed penned fish like that. I don't agree with that at all. It also creates these crowded conditions where it makes it easy for disease and parasites to spread. And one of the most common problems is sea lice. And that attaches to the salmon and feeds on their skin and mucus. EU certified salmon. Traditionally, EU certified, I used to think, was a better certification than the US biologique certified organic kind of certification. I think it's a checkpoint. I don't necessarily have a way to verify it here in this country. I'll use it if I have to, but I tend to buy the wild and the Westeros salmon, which is, they don't consider that wilds, but they bring it in. They follow the natural migration of the fish, and they bring it into or direct it into the locks, which is sort of like it's like a open sort of area for fish to go out of the, like, it's like a cul-de-sac in the ocean. That's the best way to put it. It's like a cul-de-sac. So the fish, the natural migration in, they bring them into these cul-de-sacs, and and they raise them there, hand feed them, things like that. So the parasites from the sea lice can spread from farmed fish to the migrating wild salmon. So there's a big argument to ocean pens and the safety of them. I would prefer not supporting them. Unfortunately, you can't always tell. Yeah, what's up? I'm on live. There's meatballs, kale salad, pasta from last night. All right, bye. So, keep that in mind. These parasites can spread. And so I don't really promote or like to see farmed salmon from the ocean pens. I'm not a fan. And if they escape into the wild and they breed with wild fish, we have a whole host of other issues. I don't think they're good. So then also they use antibiotics. So the disease spreads more easily in the crowded environment. So some fish farms rely on heavy antibiotic and medications to control. They also add colorants to the fish, which also has to be added to the label if they're not adding it. Now, Whole Foods sells colorant added fish, just so you know. I know that because I physically, with my own eyes, saw the label and almost had a heart attack. I was like, this is not good. I don't want your fish. I'm not a fan of Whole Foods, to be honest with you. Yes, of marketing a bad idea. Exactly, Heather. So choosing seafood from farms with strong environmental standards helps encourage healthier practices. Escaped fish, like I just said, competes with native fish for food, spreads disease, interbreeds the wild population, and alters the local ecosystem. So not a great idea. Better aquaculture. Not all fish farms operate this way, right? So many newer operations are investing in more sustainable systems. So you'll find like things will say sustainably raised seafood. These are land-based recirculating aquaculture systems. They call them RAS systems. Exactly, Kimberly. Benefits include minimal environmental discharge, better disease control, reduced need for antibiotic, no interaction with wild fish, and prevention of escape, right? So they're more expensive to build, but these systems represent one of the more promising directions for sustainable seafood production. Now, there is talk, no proof yet, but there is talk about genetically modified fish being grown. I have not seen proof nor seen enough information to say, hey, watch out for this. So I haven't seen that yet. I have not. Red Lake, no. Frankenfish. Yeah, exactly. Frankenfish. That's what they used to call food when when this first started happening in the late 80s. They used to call it Frankenfoods. Oh, that's the only place. It's called Red Lake Nation. All right, I'll do a little digging. Okay, so let's understand wild caught seafood. So one of the things that I do when I buy fish, especially like local white fishes like black sable fish or black striped bass or fluke, flounder, all of these things, tuna, any of these, I always want to talk to or know who the captain of the day boats are. I want day boat fishermen. I don't want fishermen that are going out into the ocean on, you hear about China. They put these like barges out in the ocean and they stay out there for 2 months or a month and they flash freeze fish. Now I know that in Alaska, they do like these flash frozen and they go out. That's different. I'm talking about factory producing, catching fish in the ocean where they have excessive bycatch. They overfish species. I'm not looking for that. And those are like giant sort of cruise ship sized fisheries in the ocean that are like destroying full species. So what I like to look at is pole and line caught fishing, right? Troll fishing, so they're dragging line across and they're pulling only what they're taking. Hand line fishing and trap fishing, right? So these methods are more selective and they produce less accidental catch. You don't want bycatch, right? Because that's affecting the ecosystem and you're just killing off fish for no reason but to catch other fish. So those big nets that they troll in and they bring up, if they don't put that bycatch back, you know, it's not good for the oceans. Least regulated, right? They're taking dolphins, sea turtles, sharks, seabirds, and all other kinds of marine life. We don't want that. So you're looking to choose more often. Wild Alaskan salmon, Pacific cod, U.S. farmed rainbow trout. There's like really good lake trout that comes out of Florida. It just tastes like a lake. So sometimes people don't like that. Sardines, anchovies, herring, U.S. farmed oysters, mussels, clams. These are generally reproduced, are produced well, carefully managed, and have a relatively low environmental impact. Seafood to research carefully. We're talking about bluefin tuna, imported shrimp. You know, they have a lot of chemicals in them, a lot of preservatives. Chilean sea bass, unless it's certified, you got to stay away from that. And it's probably one of my favorite fish to eat. Patagonian monk-tooth fish is the actual name. Imported farmed salmon, orange roughy, shark. You know, you don't want to do that. So now, certifications worth looking for. Let's talk about these. One of them is the Marine Stewardship Council, MSC. Now, I want to talk about them for a minute. You could do sea bass. You like the lake flavor, Jude? I do not, but I'll eat it because I know it's like better for us. Marine Stewardship Council certifies sustainable wild fisheries and they meet very rigorous environmental standards. But about 13 years ago, they certified McDonald's fish sandwich, got the MSC certification. When that happened, I'm sorry, I questioned them because I have no reason why I questioned them except for the fact that they're McDonald's. I was like, really? We're certifying their fish as clean, but their beef is got a ton of questions? I don't know. So it made me a little sus, but I don't know. I don't have an answer. I just don't have an answer. How do I subscribe? Elizabeth, you can, drop your heart. You can also go here to to my LINK and the BIO. You can go there. You can join here. The LINK and the BIO has my recipe vault. That's $5 a month. You can get that. And you have access to over 600 recipes and all of these kitchen hacks, kitchen pharmacy, all of these little ebooks that I do. There's also an all access pass that you pay monthly and you get everything plus my cookbook and all the ebooks. So you can go check that out there. That we have 70,000 likes already. I'm so excited. This is wonderful. All right, aquaculture stewardship, ASC. That certifies responsible farm fishing with standards for environmental impact, animal welfare, worker safety, community responsibility. Nothing about the health of the fish, though. And then best aquaculture practices, BAP. They evaluate the entire seafood supply chain, including the hatcheries, the farms, the feed mills, and processing facilities. least regulated? I can't tell you. These are the questions you're going to ask your fish market. Is this wild or farm raised? Where was it harvested? They have to tell you that. It should be on the card itself. USA is not enough. That doesn't say shit. You have to get a zone. Pacific Northwest, Iceland, Scotland. How was it caught? Is it line catched? Is it in season? Fish has a season. It does. I should put that. I'll put this in here for you guys, okay? Oh, I have to finish this. This is going to be a good one. Season of fish. Is there a more sustainable alternative today? All right. These are the questions you're going to ask, and that's how you learn. Where does the day boat? Where is this day boat fish? Is it line caught? Is it bycatch? You know, like how much bycatch? Yeah, a lot of people that are in here have been following me for a very long time, and they know the drill if I'm not answering questions. Ooh, we're a popular live today. I mean, we're still under 99, but we want to be popular. Atlantic cod, I like Atlantic cod. I serve it all the time. I do what I would ask for instead, Heather, is like a black cod. That's better. And that's considered called black sable. That's a better quality. Atlantic cod can sort of be like the house wine. You know what I mean? It's like a generic term for all kinds of cod. But if you get a cod loin, it's better. Black sable, that's a good cod. That's a really nice codfish. Thank you, Char. Okay. Why sustainable seafood matters. It protects the wild fish population. It preserves the marine income. I do like it also. Where is the black sable cod from? I find it from here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I'm going to put you guys on pause just for a minute. I'll be right back. Let me see if I can. Hey, babe, that's for me. I just have to pause the live. I have to figure out. Can you open the door? It's Laura. Hold on. I just have to pause my live. Here it is. I'll be right there. I'll be right there, guys.